getting back to where we left in our Jupyter notebook. So let's recreate everything using class methods. Let's have a quick recap about all of these things that we have gone through with a quick example to have a recap into this. So let's have, okay. So let's create class. Let me create out some new cells. And let's cut it out and create out over here. Let's write class methods, and let's recreate all of these now. Okay, we can create methods we have already looked into. Now let's have a look into the examples. So let's change this to markdown first of all. Class methods. Now let's have a quick recap first. Student. Let's write something. Def init. Let's give a reference to itself and then name, and let's have a recall of name. And so self dot name is equal to name, giving the reference. Then let's create using f string. Hi, whatever the name is, self dot name, welcome aboard. Okay, that's all. Let's create one more thing. Let's create a variable, school dbms. Let's copy this and paste it above so that it looks quite good. Okay, now that I have created this, let's create student. That's it. It's missing two that is name and role, so let's give name as Paul and role is some integer values. So hey Paul, welcome aboard. So it's working totally fine. Now let's look into how to create class methods. I'm going to copy out the same code, paste it out over here, and over here let's create a new method. So as I've told you, it's quite similar to function. So def, let's write out the method name as print hey. This is a method that I'm going to take, and I'm going to delete all of these first of all. Let's pass it right now. Let's clear this out. I'm going to take a name from the user, and let's change the function method name to greet. And then after this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assign self dot name to name, and then I'm going to print out the name using f string. Hey self dot name, welcome aboard. So I'm missing something, that is okay, end of line. Yeah, so now it's working just fine. Let's check it out. Student, right now I don't need to mention anything over here. So successfully an object s has been created for the class student. So let's call out the function, the method s dot greet. As this is a method, you have to mention this, or else what will happen is, let's show you. So this is how it will look like if you don't call out the brackets. So let's execute this greet. You have to pass an positional argument. Let's pass the name Paul. Hey Paul, welcome aboard. So that's how you can create an method in Python. Let's look into one more example. Class employee. Let's write def init. And over here right now I'm not gonna write anything, just gonna tell welcome to programming. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an def, and I'm gonna take again some parameters from the id, that is check. I'm gonna pass self comma name, and then let's say empid. And what I can do is I'm gonna check if uh, n, that is name, let's say first of all self dot name is equal to name, and I'm gonna check if name self dot name, I'm gonna check length of self dot name as even, equal to 0, and I'm just gonna print even. That's it. Let's create one. E1 equals to employee. I don't need to mention anything. Welcome to programming has came out, that is written inside the this block, and then I'm gonna pass E1 dot check. Inside of this I'm gonna pass out my name, so let's say Paul, and I have to pass an positional argument, so let's say 231. Check even is not defined, so I have to turn this into a string, and now it should be working just fine. So Paul is an even number. Let's delete empid as we don't require it right now, and let's write else print odd. As we have seen that Paul is even, so it is just printing even. If I pass some other, let's say Rohit, let's read this name, E1 is not defined. Okay, E1 dot check Rohit, it will come odd. So that's how you can create methods inside a function. These were quite two small example, basic examples. Now in our next two videos we are going to solve out some extensive problems in class methods. So let's catch up in our next video where we solve out some interesting problems in this.